Hi there everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Krista and I'll be doing your July 2019 general forecast for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope that you enjoyed your June 2019 general forecast. So this is a general reading for Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, and Capricorn Rising signs. If you'd like a specific or personal reading, you can contact me with my email address that's in the description for this video below, in addition to why I do this and with a description of the cards I'm using. So we'll use the Good Tarot for your major 5-card spread today, bottom of the deck card for general energy, and then get jumper cards for additional information from our oracle decks here. All right, so Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Come on now, back in the deck. What does Capricorn need to know for July? I feel a lot of potent energy while I'm shuffling and thinking about this. Okay. Honestly, I shuffle on camera because I think it's soothing when other people do it, but I also want you to see what the heck happens here because no one can make this up. Something is stagnant and needs switching up. Transformation is desired at this time. Something needs to be switched up, or something is already dead and needs to be replaced. There could be a void already that needs to be filled, or there could be, oh my word, and then there could be an Aquarian involved. You could have Aquarius in your own chart. That could be you. That could be fixed energy, something that you feel is bolted down or fixed. Could be so stagnant. Needs to change. We'll see if those show up in your reading today. But I do just like to blurt those out when they jump up right. And it could be a message for all of you or just some of you today. All right, so Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Messages for Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, and Capricorn Rising signs. July, here we go, folks. July 2019. Yep. Something has to end. The situation. 10 of Wands in the situation column. Something has to end. You're at the end of the line, end of your wits, end of your rope. Really, really nice. You know, generally speaking, you have a lot of beautiful fire energy here. You have the Lover's card, something that's going to come to balance here. Maybe looking for some spiritual support at this time could be helpful or useful to you. Definitely leaning more toward, Venusian energies, that being, the feminine. So feminine energy may help you at this time as well. Just basically anything having to do with love, beauty, and truth, sort of Venus-ruled attributes. There's also a lot of Leo energy behind this as well. Symbol of Leo. And then the upright triangle being fire. But it's something that's practically, right, in a practical sense, it's affecting something practical here. So we have someone here, the Knight of Pentacles might be a little bored. Like I said, we had that death card jump out, the transformation card. So something, maybe a little bored with something. It might be the end of something here. You need to move on. You need to push forward. Okay, so nothing taxing. It could even be something that you very clearly understand and saw this coming. It's just that, you had to wait for July, or, the conditions are now as such that you can move forward with this decision or with this move or inspired action, right? So ultimately, I do see you leaving something that isn't working for you anymore, something that, was almost about to break your back in a very practical sense. It could be work, right? It could be in the work world. But there could be a little sense of, lagging. Something feels like it's going too slow here. So I do think action either could be taken here or you are inspired to take action. Now, this is in the challenge position, so it could be that you're too fearful on some level, or you feel like the time isn't right. But this is here to say that, I think it would be wise for you to do that because these, 1 and then the 2 out of the same suit in both the challenge and then what is hidden, it's just like, you maybe only planned up till this point, and then you didn't make a concession plan, or you didn't make a plan B, or you didn't think any further from that. It's almost like you got, let's say all you wanted to do was win the lotto. Now you won the lotto. Now you're just, okay, what do I do with this? Or, you know, winning the girl or the guy, or getting that job that you've been fighting for. It's like something that you have now. Even if it's good health, even if it took a long time to get here, even if it felt like it was never going to happen, it's almost like you got it. And now you're like, okay, well, now what? So it's almost like you're going to look at this with beauty and love and truth. You're going to have a lion's heart about it. So show a lot of courage. Really stay in the light about this decision. Really, if it is about the next plan or the next layer of a theme for you here, I would look at it less from the masculine or say action perspective, and more, we're going to get back into planning, right? From a loving perspective here, from a loving Venusian beauty and truth, okay? This is really, really important here because it's right in the center. And then you have this really gorgeous message down here, or communication that's down here. So nothing overwhelming, nothing taxing. I'm just going to go back couple of cards just because I'm curious why this would be bottom of the deck energy. Of course, we have this Knight of Pentacles that I was just talking about. Like I said, I mean, the Page of Pentacles usually provides the message of a little bit more of a sense of boredom. But I mean, the Knight can too, or it's just that they're bored on this journey. I mean, they're going to keep moving forward. They're going to keep taking action. They're going to keep on keeping on, but it may be uninspired at this point. So it's like, the challenge could be to find inspiration behind something that feels like you might be willing to give up on it, or, you know, its time is almost over. What do I do next? Type thing here. So underneath that, we do have the Two of Pentacles. So totally in alignment with that Knight. It could have been that you were juggling something. You couldn't make your mind up about something, or you had, you know, 2 jobs, 2 concerns. God forbid this be a love affair, 2 love interests, right? Or if that's the case, you know, and you did make your mind up about something, whether it is a job or a person or anything in between, it's almost like you did make up your mind, and now there needs to be action around it, right? And then underneath that, we did have, I believe this showed up as I was shuffling. I don't recall. Forgive me if it did, I don't recall. But we do have underneath it all, we have this relatively severe or cold Aquarian ruled King of Swords. This person is probably not wrong, or this energy isn't wrong. It's just severe. It's a little bit cold. The Pentacles definitely bring a great deal of warmth to this. So if you were thinking or planning something here, you've been able to inject some warmth into it as well. It's also your element, so you feel really comfortable here in the Knight position. So let's find out what is the situation. Of course, like I said, it's the end of something. Whenever we're looking at a 10, we're looking at, you know, a completion. So you want to, and if you'll notice, this Lover's card is surrounded by fire. So, and that's really no accident. You can take, you know, that great idea over there with that influential master of the mind, right? The King of Swords. And, you know, as a Capricorn, you're going to warm that up a little, inject some warmth into that, and then you're going to take action around it. So it's almost like, don't let yourself down by throwing the baby out with the bathwater here. Just try to find some new inspiration, because here in the challenge position is a brand new opportunity. This is source energy. This is, in my estimation, creative genius. You know, the spark of creative genius. This is, all the aces, frankly, are in total alignment with source, right? That is source. That's the great subconscious, right? It's what we interpret before even words or utterances have been made. So I think that you can take the reins of something here and get yourself out of, say, a stuck or a slow or even a daunting position here, because the solution is the Lover's card. So generally behind, you know, underneath the whole Lover's condition here is, you know, a decision. It's usually between the mind and the heart, they say. But really, I think you already know what it is, and it's always the heart. We have to go with the heart because that's what, will let us down if we don't follow the heart. And it could be that this has played such an influence, this severity here, and I'm not saying he's dumb and severe. I'm saying, this is extraordinary intelligence, but this is cerebral intelligence. Okay, right? The heart has its own intelligence. So it's almost like there needs to have been, or there was, and now you're coming to terms with that, a nice marriage of the two, right? The mind and the heart. And if you think that you're making a choice between the mind and the heart, you're really not. You're making the choice between whether to act on what's in your heart or what's on your mind. And once those are in cahoots, once you can relate them or integrate them so that there is a balance, right? Like these pillars are in perfect balance because they can both exist. They can exist simultaneously. One doesn't have to override the other, but they both have to be respected. But I think as long as you move forward with the heart, I think you'll be extremely delighted this month in July, Capricorn. Here in the what is hidden is just making a plan. What are the next steps? What is it that you really, really want? Because something has already been completed here. So it's almost like I really get the feeling here that there's a next stage, there's a next level here for you. And perhaps you just didn't see it coming, say, as quickly as it has, or providing you couldn't have anticipated somehow having to make a decision at this time. That's understandable, but you've gotten what you worked for. That's for sure. It's just, what are you going to do with it? Here in the outcome, this glorious 8 of Wands, you really can't go wrong with this card. Rushing messages of success, communication that is delightful. Hearing, saying, and doing very, very positive, constructive things at this time. If you are trying to figure out how to manifest the integration of the mind and the heart here at this time, because you do want to follow your heart, you can have a communication or a conversation with someone that you trust or that you're going through this with, and come to some sort of conclusion together, right? We do have 2 twos. This could literally this could be a love affair, right? Or it could be a decision. It could be a business decision. It could be this job or that job, right? But there's one thing or the other here. And of course, with the 6, it's the sense of balance, but it's also Venus ruled. So beauty is very, very important around this decision at this time. What do I want to look at here? Let me look at the what is hidden. So what kind of decision needs to be made here? Why is the 2 of Wands in the what is hidden? Qualify the 2 of Wands as the what is hidden. Working on something together, literally the next step, the next phase, right? And this could be spiritual, but it's also long lasting. This is something that's built to last. You really are interested in building something to last with one other person, right? It could be business, but it also could be love or romance or family. It's really nice time for you to have a conversation with that person, okay? It's really important that you do that. I'm just have to look at this Lovers as the solution. Why is the Lovers in the solution position? Why is the Lovers in the solution position? Well, I didn't want 5 cards, but here we are. Revising an old plan. Beautiful, more Leo energy. The King of Hearts, right? Being able to give and provide love, protection, spiritual advancement. Here we have the Sagittarius, the mutable energy of the fire of the wands. Very sexy, flirty. Beautiful, happy, healthy home and family. Emotional wealth and well-being. and then commitments and contracts, vows. So you're in it to win it, Capricorn. Shocking. I know. Not really, I'm teasing. I love you, Capricorn. I think that, you know, it's such potent energy. You're built to last. You have a lot to teach the rest of us about, you know, digging in your heels and, you know, working through when times aren't very exciting. And I think that that is admirable, because you are in it to win it, and you can teach us about being built to last and following truth and beauty. You could be, for that matter, dealing with a Taurus or having some, for that matter, Libra, okay, you know, Venus in ruled energies at this time, or you may be inspired to look at those at this time. So we have squirrel, we have gathering, you know, pulling things together, having that conversation. I think you're going to be really delighted with what's said here, by the way. You know, don't put it off. Have that conversation, gather ideas, gather concerns and ideas, conflicts and solutions, and then, you know, come up with a plan together. Come up with a plan here, Capricorn, because it's going to be very, very successful. The journey from that leg of the scene or plan is almost over, even though it feels a little bit boring at this time, or it feels like when, you know, why is this feeling like it's going to last forever? It's just part and parcel. You had to go through this phase to get, of course, to the queen and then ultimately the king, which is where I'm sure you have your long-term planning. I mean, ultimately you want to be that king of pentacles, right? Sitting in your man or woman made wealth that you invented, that you created, and that you have so much of that you can share. And that is power. That is power. Look at this, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Now, in my experience with this card, it sometimes means age or geography. It can be religion, but you could have been brought up very differently, and it has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with age. It has to do with culture. So when you see religious here, religious as a term used in this card, you can switch that up with geography, culture, age, background, education, just something that makes you a little bit different than the other person within the relationship that you desire or that you're having. Could even just be something about how to rear children. You were brought up in the same culture, you're the same age, you're the same religion, but your, you know, partners wants to discipline children very, very different from what you did, from what you do, and you guys have to figure that out, right? And it's influencing your spiritual path. It's influencing the way that you go about practical things. Your love life is influenced by those things, and it's not unheard of. That's going to happen. But very, very interesting. And it could strictly be religion. It could be that maybe you aren't religious, your partner is. Maybe you are and they aren't. Maybe neither of you were and one of you is getting into it and it's not cool with the other one. So I really feel communication is really going to help you both through this at this time, because I don't think it's just you who thinks long-term here either. I think that you are definitely, you know, you've met your match. I think someone else has the same long-term plan and outlook that you do as well. I think flexible is asking us to be sort of that bendy tree. You know, we're going to go with the flow, not be so rigid. Be flexible when times are tough. Be willing to make concessions. Be willing to have a plan B, at least for the month of July, okay? Really hear someone else out, though. If you have to, jot some things down. Stay playful. Stay playful, stay, you know, here with the King of fire or wands, the King of Wands and the Lovers, and all this fire literally all around you, this really happy home, this flirty energy, long-term institution, basically that's the institutions, right? Vows, contracts, commitments. I mean, just be flexible within this time frame. Be flexible with this other person. Maybe they need to catch up to you. Maybe it's the other way around. But just make sure that you belong together, or you want to be together, or you want to continue going in this direction, and then just make those plans. Gather those ideas and thoughts. Here with truth and integrity, I think this is how you operate by nature, and you're going to meet, the other person has to meet you in the middle here, in truth and integrity. And this will carry you throughout life. And you'll know as soon as you meet somebody, whether they have this essence about themselves or whether they don't, and just don't get mixed up in people who don't qualify their behavior with truth and integrity, because you're beyond that, you're above that. And I think that you have a lot to offer. I think that you're just at the very end of something that you want to bring new life into the next phase of a concern or development here. So this was so fun to read for you, Capricorn. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, like and share and subscribe. I really appreciate that as well. And if you have a second comment, let me know how this works out for you. Until the next time, take excellent care of yourselves. Bye for now.